Hello, everyone. My name is Josefa, and in this creative critical reflection, I'm going to talk about my short opening sequence, Asrib, and the personal production skills I developed while creating this. Honestly speaking, uh, during the whole completion of this project, uh, this pushed me more way than I expected. Coming towards the film, Asrib is a psychological thriller about power, betrayal, and control within a structured uh, business system. But beyond the story itself, the real journey was behind the camera and before the film shoots. Uh, if we come up towards the pre-production, it was the phase where actually I grew up and I realized that filming is not about just thinking and implementing it. Uh, because initially, when I had no such a know-how about this uh, all pre-production, I used to think that just its planning is just a formality. But when I planned everything for a certain, like short list, script breakdown, mood board, references of lighting and scenes, call sheet, prop list, um, that completely changed my perspective. Um, Instead of just reaching the location and figuring it out uh, before the shoot, I already knew that what shot I need, what angle of shot I would require to show dominance, where I need the close up during the shoot, and what lighting will match the scene. uh, this everything was intentional in the film and not random. And with this I realized that the filmmaking is more planning. Like 70% of the filmmaking is planning, and then the rest 30% is shooting. Then coming towards the production, the cinematography, um, I experimented a lot and learned a lot. Like just in the interrogation scene, I used low key lighting and shadows to create the psychological tension. I placed the character centrally in some frames. That shows the importance and the dominance of the character in the short film. Um, I used low angles to emphasize power and high angles to show vulnerability. Um, those were the choices I made before the shoot. These things were not accidental. It was proper. These things came with proper planning. And moving further, uh, I also uh, got to learn and got to know about the shots variation, uh, that I should get the shots variation in the film, like wide shots, medium shots, close up, uh, and their uh, importance and why we need them in different scenes. So that uh, learning gave me coverage and editing, like something I didn't fully understand before this project. Coming towards the editing of this project, uh, it was one of the biggest stylistic choices I made. Was using intense background music throughout most of the film. Many thrillers use silence to build tension, but I did the opposite thing. I kept the emotional pressure high almost continuously. The music became part of the environment of the film. Uh, in editing, I focused more on cutting on tension peaks, matching character movement with sound beats, building rhythm towards the confrontation scenes, and many things I learned from many other sources. And even more than that, I realized how much potential I have about this specific profession of filmmaking. This project further improved my sense of pacing. I learned that editing isn't just cutting clips. Um, it is mm, Editing is not about only just cutting and putting the shots and the scenes in the continuation. It's about shaping the whole uh, outline of the film, the emotional experience. Now coming toward something very important I learned about in this film was the location situation. Uh, the location where we shoot the film usually resembles a school environment that wasn't originally intended to be noticeable, but due to practical limitations during production, parts of that background appears in the frame. Instead of treating this as a failure, I approach it analytically. The structured environment actually reinforces a theme of institutional power and hierarchy. And Asab is about control within systems, so the formal setting and intentionally supports that idea. What just taught me is something bigger than just one scene. As a filmmaker, you don't always get perfect conditions. What matters is how you adapt and reinterpret your environment and situations to serve that narrative. And that ability to problem solve creatively is something I genuinely developed through this filmmaking. Another area of this project where I improved was directing actors. I focused less on loud performance and more on body language. Uh, like, for example, uh, when a character holds power, they stand upright, then control shifts, posture changes, eye contact become aggressive or fearful, and in the final confrontation, the shift in dominance is shown physically before it's speaking. That was intentional. I learned that strong direction is often about restraint, not exaggeration. Organization and time management, because we had limited time. I had to think practically. I grouped shots by location. I followed the shot list strictly. I ensured props and costumes were consistent. This helped avoid continuity errors and saved so much time on this set while shooting. I realized that being creative is important, but being organized is what makes creativity possible and much better uh, with the execution. What I would improve, of course, talking about, like, obviously, if we see that every film, even shot by biggest producers, biggest directors, they have some of the errors. They sometimes failed to produce something bigger, and their films actually flop. So in Assured, I would really improve some uh, some areas of my film. Like, I would like to experiment more with lighting contrast between scenes. Like, add moments of silence to contrast the heavy score, control environmental framing even more tightly. But with these things, what important is that I can identify these areas critically. That shows that with the uh, pre-production, and post-production of this film, how my personality as a filmmaker developed. So overall, Ashib helped me evolve from someone who shoots scene to someone who thinks like a filmmaker. And with this, I learned how usual language communicates about power and emotions, how editing shapes the whole outline of the film, how preparation determines quality, and how adapt under real world limitations. Most importantly, I learned that filmmaking is not just about perfection, it's about control, intention, and problem solving. And it's mainly about how you uh, perform in situations. And I believe this project clearly demonstrates my development in personal skills for production of the filmmaking. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you will enjoy the film. Thank you.